about classes. So this is in Java. So what is a class? Let's first start with an example. So a class is basically a blueprint for things you want to create. So for example, if I have a class called human, then I have different attributes which would be in that class. So for example, here's an example. So my class is called human, and you can assign different variables to the class. So for example, a human would have an age and a name. So as you can see, you create an int age and a string name. And see how you declare a class. You say public class, then the name of the class, and then you put the variables inside here. Now, and then, so here's an example. So what you do is open your Java file, and you have to create a new Java file, and you have to call it the same name as the class. So let's save this as human.java. And the thing is, every single class will have its own Java file. So now I can copy that code in here. So just to remember that you have public class human, you start your brackets, then you have then you declare each attribute, each variable. So what this says is that each human has an int called age and a string called name. So you have to declare data types like this. Now what you can, so for example, then you can also add other fields, like you can add string gender, string race, you can add like int birthday, int salary, right? So let's do that now. Or a string birthday. So it's very important to think what kind of data type do I need for each of these data values. Now what you do is you can create an instance of a class. So basically, if you want to create a, like, let's say a specific kind of human, so this is the code you want to do to create a new human. So you say human, then the name of your human, which is the object, equals new human. So what this says is, I want to create a new human. So if you go back to class, the class is just a blueprint for every human that you want to create. So if I go back here, note that now I name it Ashwin, so it's my own variable. It's just like having a string or an int. But now I can set different parameters, because remember you had these parameters, name and age over here. Now you can say Ashwin.name equals this, and Ashwin.age equals 16. So this is called instantiating a class. So what this does is it tells the computer, okay, Ashwin is now a human, and his name is Ashwin, and his age is 16. So let's try this code out. Remember that this code doesn't go in the actual human class. It goes in your main method, in your actual Java code. So something really important is that these two files have to be open, and they have to be in the same directory. Only then it will compile. So I can run this. Oops. Quotes have to be correct. And it works. So now I can print out Ashwin.age. And as you can see, it's just like a variable. So if I run this, it prints out 16. So what's really cool is that you can create other humans too. You can create a human Bob equals another human. And then Bob.name equals Bob. Bob.age equals 15. And you can do the same thing like that here too. You can say print out Bob.name. So you can create a loop, you can create several instances of just one class. And what's really cool is that you don't have to just have like variables, you can also have methods on it. So you can have other things, like, for example, you could just say, like, you can have a method that says say my age, and it will say its age. And just as a review, so a class is a blueprint, and the objects are the instances of a class. So, for example, if you had a car, that would be a class, and you'd create an object called Mercedes-Benz, just like that. You may have a class called President, and have an object called Barack Obama, a class called Animal, and an object called Dog, a class called Cat, and an object called Garfield. etc. And so so a class has certain properties over here, and then the object, you actually set the properties to a certain value.